make it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the presence of an award-winning baker.
Wow, I should have brought my little banner in.
Go get it.
Okay. Are you going to talk?
Yeah, I'll just talk. I don't want to have to edit different clips together. So you go hustle. But Kristen placed third in the baking contest in Mahone Bay for her famous pumpkin pies.
I didn't know you were going to talk about this.
How could we not?
Would have been more prepared.
How could we not talk about this?
Well, this episode is
the biggest moment of your life.
Look at this. See? This was seriously winning third place in a pie baking contest. This was like one of the most excited I've ever been. And you have video footage that proves that. But I think it's because it didn't matter at all. I wasn't expecting. It was just super fun. Not something I put pressure on myself about. So it was like this genuine joy to not only be there, but to win something. And they gave me this little spatula and $100. $100 for third place.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my job now.
It was pretty. Well, we had an awesome day in Mahone Bay. They had the Scarecrow Festival. Mahone Bay isn't a real place. Also, I don't think
you're in a dream when you're there.
You're definitely in the Truman Show. You're walking around and everybody's happy. All the homes are beautiful. I don't know. I grew up in a small town. There was an old coal mining town and lots of rough people and I don't know, fights and alcoholism, and it just seems like Mahone Bay is like the exact opposite of all that.
It's shiny, everyone's smiling, and it was exceptionally warm. Like the weather was absolutely
27
incredible
degrees
this day
October.
For Saturday afternoon, and all the local gals are at the church kind of helping volunteer, and there were 100 and some pies
102 pies.
102 pies.
51 entries.
Yes, you have to make 2 identical pies, and I had so much fun, and I've really found a lot of happiness in making pie this summer, as you know, and it's been sort of therapeutic in ways, but this was like, I don't know, childhood. It's like winning provincials in basketball or something. Like, oh my gosh.
But it is a creative act.
Oh, absolutely. Really. And then you get to eat it after, which is incredible. And now, of course, like the first thing I said, I think when we left was, I'm going to kill this next year because I know what to expect. I know kind of, all right, this is how we're being judged. And they had a celebrity judge. Well, all of them are celebrities, really, locals. One of them won the Great Canadian Baking Challenge or something.
Yes.
It's just wholesome. And
so do you think you can beat the lady who won the last 3 years?
So best in show, she won the last 3 years. But no, I think you is like amazing to even get this, genuinely. So I'm not looking to be number one, but I'm going to try next year for sure. I actually last night Googled if there were other pie baking contests in Nova Scotia.
Are there?
Not that I could find.
There's got to be somewhere.
But we're putting it out there. Maybe someone else knows of one. And it's blind. They blind taste them as well. So that's, it's sincere. And it's just a great family festival, Scarecrow Festival, that was happening all weekend. This was but one component.
Yeah.
Obviously the most important. Welcome to Make It with Mike and Kristen.
Where creative people talk about what they make, pies, and what making it means to them.
Are you going to put an image of the winning pie in there?
I have to now.
Yeah, now that we've mentioned it.
Now that you said it.
I'm going to build more editing work for you. But let's get to today's guest, who is incredibly talented and the guest artist at Togetherland for the month of October. Angela Jane Lavender, all the way from Prince Edward County, Ontario. Yeah. She and I have been communicating. I put the call out, I think, in spring, maybe March or April, inviting those who wanted to apply to be a guest artist at the gallery throughout the season. And Angela reached out, and I was, said to her, you're coming from Ontario, this is the space. And she was totally game, really communicative, professional, and I adore her work.
Yeah.
We were just lucky enough that she not only chose to accept the offer to show her work in the gallery, but to live paint at one of our open mic nights, and everybody fell in love with her like we did.
That was a great night.
And then the very next morning at 7:30 a.m., she came over and recorded a podcast interview with us. So
our earliest interview ever.
Yes, had some coffee on the go, but it was she's just awesome. Like I text her, I don't know, a couple days ago and said, I really now wish you lived closer, because we had that immediate great first impression and got along so great. She went to one of the Halifax Tide soccer games with us, the new women's team here in the city.
That was fun too.
Yeah. She's just fun to be around.
She took in a lot of Halifax and Nova Scotia in general while she was here, because she's never been here. So everything is new and beautiful time to be here. And as far as I know, she had an amazing time, and just got to meet some people, see a lot of things, and showcase her beautiful art, which is stunning stuff. And really excited that it's going to be in the gallery for the next month.
You're going to hear Angela's story and some of her inspiration, but I particularly liked how she had this conversation about discovering her own voice or her own point of view, which I think a lot of artists feel that pressure to stand out or be unique in some way, and certainly would describe her work as accomplishing that. I really liked how she sort of recognized that maybe this is a pressure that we put on ourselves, and in her letting go of that, found it in her own organic way. And she's really drawn to painting women or things that are feminine and playing with light. So that was another thing I found attractive about her explanation and her work, was that she talked about the subject being the women, but also the technique in bringing in those components of light, which you can see in all of her work. There's a real cohesiveness to it. And I always love talking with another artist, because we don't get to do that as often. And so, it was just a great chat.
Yeah. Well, let's jump right into it. And Thanksgiving is coming up, and so that means you're going to make another pumpkin pie. And we're going to probably have a pie every weekend from now on. Is that correct?
We had chicken pot pie this week, and I'm making pumpkin pie, for your family dinner. And I just got a message from my best friend in Ottawa, and she's coming to visit this weekend. Just total last minute surprise. So I'll be cooking and baking for her as much as she'll consume. Gluten-free pie. Yes, I've done one of those so far.
And it was great too.
Yeah, well.
You're award-winning. Of course it's great.
Well, thank you.
Okay, Angela Jane Lavender. Let's jump into it.
Woo.
Make it.
We're all set now. Everybody's got their coffee. You've got your weird drink.
Weird drink.
Yeah, your concoction.
What is it, creatine?
Creatine and electrolytes.
Okay.
And do you do this morning and night? I should know this by now, but I always hear you like shaking weird things. I'm like, I'm not even going to ask. Just
there's so many directions
he's having. Yeah. Morning and night, shaking weird things. Like this.
Getting really intimate really quickly.
Anywho, nice to meet you.
This is the earliest podcast we've ever done.
Earliest in the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
probably. It's like before pre 8 a.m.
I watched the sunset on the way here.
Yeah, right. So
sunrise.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I think that actually indicates where we all are right now. Did you have it pull an all-nighter?
Oh my gosh. No, but I did wake up like every hour looking at my phone, being like, because I haven't set an alarm all week. And I was like, make sure it's set.
Or you could just set an alarm. Are you anti-alarm?
No, I set an alarm.
Oh, okay.
And then my sleeping brain kept waking me up and being like, make sure it's set.
It's always when you anticipate
it. Through it.
Yes. An early morning or a travel day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you are, last night when we were trying to arrange when we could do this, you seem pretty keen on 7 o'clock's great. That's good. Yeah.
You not so much, Mike.
And,
I'm looking at Mike like, when's the last time you've seen 7 a.m.?
Well, I guess I get up at 7 sometimes, but usually not in the
to work
in interview mode.
Yeah.
but it's, I guess, for musicians, it's usually not the time when you're rolling and doing your thing. But.
You may have heard of this, Angela. I was talking with somebody last night. I don't know how this came up, but that the fatigued brain is actually good for creativity. And I don't know that it's specifically that you're tired or that you're just in a different state of mind that maybe is what they're getting at. But there's research to show that if you are someone that typically, say, is awake from 7 to 10, then if you try painting at 11 p.m. or midnight, that's a little bit outside of your norm, that there's kind of new access to something. Yeah.
My approach for this was more that that's future Angela's problem. Like getting up early. I was like, I don't have to deal with that tomorrow, me.
But that's living in the moment. So, and you did have I hope a good night last night.
I had a great
later night. And
yeah, it was a really welcoming space and people and experience. I had never been to an open mic night, so it was fun to just see that go down, and it was new for some of the people that were there too, and it was really cool.
I loved having the live painting in the backdrop, and it was kind of, I had some friends comment they liked the juxtaposition of having the green reflector surf rock band and then you kind of calmly and elegantly painting in the background.
Yeah, someone said something similar to me actually, and it's funny because I get so in the zone that it's like people will be like, "Aren't you nervous? Like having someone like stare over your shoulder while you're painting?" And I'm like, "Not at all. I completely forget that there's people there because I just get so in the flow." There are moments where it's like I'm if I'm like struggling with like a color or something that I like get in my head, but once I get out of it, I'm just like in the zone and.
I learned something from you last night.
You learned something from me. Oh, I love that.
From afar.
I mean, I hope. I guess it depends what you learn.
I think it's a good thing. So anytime I've live painted, I just assumed I needed to be facing my audience. Like I was the performance.
Oh.
Right? How arrogant is that too? But
I think it's human of you to not want your back to people.
I guess so. But you had your back to the audience, and I just thought that would be such a more comfortable way to be on stage in particular, because you then are more focused on the work that you're doing and the audience is seeing the work that you're doing.
And you're not making eye contact with people awkwardly.
Yes, because that's something I've really found uncomfortable of live painting is that you have people come up, of course, and they want to talk to you, and I like that. But it's also, I'm very aware that I'm being watched doing this thing that otherwise is very much individual. And I'm usually just, in my pajamas in my studio kind of thing. And now you're like performing. I'm the thing. So
totally.
It's seemingly simple, like just the orientation of your body. But I thought that's so smart just to.
Yeah. And then it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
But I also spent a year or a summer, I should say, in my hometown going from different local businesses every weekend for the entire summer, live painting and selling my artwork as a way to like get my name out there. But it also broke the nervousness of the performance of painting. And I just think I kind of go in with a mentality of like, it does not matter how this painting turns out. And then once the pressure is off, I can just create without expectation. Like, it's not like this one painting that I'm doing is going to like make or break everything for me. So that's sort of the mentality I go in with it, was that it just doesn't matter. And most people are not artists. And so they're just fascinated that you're even doing it.
That's true.
Yeah. So they're just like mesmerized regardless. Like I could paint anything and they would just be like, "No, how do you do that? I can't even paint a stick figure." Yeah. It's the comments I always hear. So
we forget this as performers. I'm sure you've experienced this too, where like maybe you feel like, "Oh, I messed up that lyric or note," and everybody in the audience, like often you'll comment on the sound being at a show, be it yours or someone else's, and like, "Well, the sound was this or that," and I'm like, I am so clueless to that. Like I was just like rocking out right at this concert. So yeah, we're our own worst critics.
Yeah, we're very tuned in to the fine details of what it is we individually do. So
yeah,
I guess that's just natural. As a painter, you're going to be more observant of things in the painting realm, and same with music. But
well, the higher your bar gets, the higher expectation gets too. Like the higher your skill grows, like the more you expect of yourself. Like the woman who played the piano for the first time in front of everyone last night.
Yeah.
She like messed up notes a couple times. I only knew she messed up notes because she said she messed up notes.
Right.
Like if she had just like kept like playing, I would have been like, what a beautiful song, clap, 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 and wouldn't have thought twice about it. But I also have no musical experience or background whatsoever. So like you may have noticed her like skip it.
Right. And we're just sitting there enamored that someone's brave enough to play the piano in front of 40-some people.
Exactly.
It's funny when you're a young band and you're starting to play and there's a group of people on stage. If one person makes a mistake, everyone always turns and looks at them.
Let's put a spotlight.
Because they know.
Yeah, and the person who makes a mistake usually like does something. Like they make it so obvious that they made a mistake. But even if that exact same band played it the exact same way, but they just plowed through, most people wouldn't catch on. Well, sometimes in those early bands, they're pretty obvious, but but that's something you learn on stage. Just
roll with it.
Don't point out the things if you do something wrong.
Is some of that, would you say, taking yourself back to the early band days, is some of that just kind of instinct? Like if you think you see an animal run across the road, you slam on the brakes, whether or not it was a leaf or an actual mouse, right? Like,
I think it's just, well, you're on stage trying to
be awesome.
I'm trying to do air quotes when I'm trying to hold the bottle, impress everybody in front of you.
Right.
So when someone messes up, you're like, Danny, what the hell are you doing? Like, so it's, I don't know. And I guess I'm just thinking back to when I'm like 14 or something. So I think it is natural when you're trying to portray yourself as like, hey, yeah, we're awesome, and then when something happens that isn't, your reaction's going to reflect that.
I think the thing to take away though is that you should mess up on stage so that you get used to recovering for it. Like the more you do it, the more you know how to like fumble your way through it and be like la 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 la,
exactly,
or like crack a joke or whatever if you're doing some sort of performance piece. But
some people like who are really easygoing and I don't know, don't take things too serious. And there's a few of them at open mic can be playing a song and they'll make like a huge mistake. Yeah. And the way they'll just be
like riff on it and be like,
no, it's not even like that's what professionals can make a mistake and make it sound like they meant to do it. Like
and
that's
integrated into the song.
But like when you're just like a lovable person, like someone like Glenn could screw up at any point and he'll just, I don't know, his vibe somehow makes it doesn't matter at all. No one cares anyway if anyone makes a mistake or something like that. But some people just have an ability. If you're really serious on stage and you make a mistake and you get flushed and you look angry, like that changes the energy in the room.
Yeah.
But if
then suddenly everyone's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But if you just start laughing yourself or like you're just smiling, like I don't know, it just makes it a fun part of it.
Is there such a thing, in your opinion, of making a mistake in art?
I would say yes and no to that. I feel that most mistakes in art are serendipitous, happy little accidents. Though I can think of a couple paintings where it did not matter what I did. I could not save them. Because typically if I make a mistake, I'm very good at being like, and this is how we problem solve, and this is how we figure it out, and we take it to some unexpected place. But there are a few paintings I've had where the end of it, I just didn't know what went wrong. I couldn't figure it out. And I find that whenever I have a piece like that, my next painting is always like a breakthrough piece. It's always like this exceptional like work because I had that like really crappy piece. And what's funny about that is that what I remember in my mind isn't really the exceptional piece. It's the hard piece because it's like I really learned from the thing that I couldn't get out of. Yeah. Based on either the order of materials or the way I laid it out or whatever. So
when I
have
maybe
a nuanced answer.
But that makes sense. And I like that you've put thought into this because you've had that experience of feeling that way about a piece of work. When I was maybe, I don't know, I want to say 17, I flew out west, and my Aunt Carol was an artist of just, dabbled in a lot of different things. And I went out and spent maybe a month with her, and she taught me to dabble in a number of things.
Oh,
so we
that's
were
nice.
trying charcoal and sewing and all kinds of things. And I'll always remember her saying to me that making art is a series of just correcting mistakes, or
Totally.
and encouraged me to even like look at an image and try to copy it, because that's how you learn your technique. And I always found that was such a liberating way, especially as a beginner, to think about what I'm making. Like, yeah, you might think you made a mistake, but then you run with that and make it into something else. So maybe your apple now becomes a candy apple or whatever
Totally.
that you never originally imagined. So there's something freeing about having that permission that, no, there's no such thing.
I actually teach art to children at a local center in my hometown called Baxter Arts Center. And that's one of the main ideas I try to communicate, because my children range from like 7 to 12 years old. And that's actually psychologically shown that that's when they start to criticize their artwork. Whereas like before, kids paint and create freely and they're confident. They're like, it doesn't matter what it is. They're like, look at this amazing thing. Let's put it on the fridge. But around that age, they start losing that confidence. They start comparing with others and they start getting critical. And that's one of the main things that I try to communicate to them, is that if you mess up, your picture is not ruined. There are ways that we can change it, adapt it, fix it, especially depending on the medium. Like watercolor is pretty tricky, but like acrylic paint, like
yeah, you can do anything with
acrylic
that.
paint should never be like, oh, now it's like you just paint over it. It'll dry so fast. And so that's something I'm really trying to like get them to shift, is that idea that like one, like, oh, I accidentally like did this, or my friend accidentally splattered this like one spot. And I'm like, well, let's roll with it. Like, what can we do with it? Can we have this like weird design in the background, or can we turn it into this bigger thing, or should we just splatter the rest of it and then it becomes a splatter background? And because problem solving with art is going to save you a lot of heartache of, oh, I never ended up finishing that piece, or I don't know what to do with that one, or this one's ruined, I'm going to start over. It's so much better to just like work through it, because at that point, you already hate it. It's already bad. So who cares? Make bad art and then see what happens. Maybe it'll be worse art. Maybe it'll be a lesson, or maybe you're going to learn to push through, and then the next piece you create, even if that one didn't work out, maybe the next one will. And so that's one of the main things that I really try to communicate with, especially young artists.
It's a great life lesson too, just to be able to roll with things and allow yourself to come out on the other side and be patient with it. And we were talking about running earlier. Like I always found running sort of representational of life, of just, the commitment to it and the freedom of it. And you would be able to reference that at different junctures of things that happen in the real world. And art kind of does that too.
Totally.
Yeah.
You hear a lot when you listen to people, experts telling you how to live your life the best way possible. A lot of people talk about play now, like how adults have lost the ability to play. And I think with creative acts, that playing and experimenting is something that we're always doing. Like we have to. Like that's how creations come to be, is by playing, by experimenting, by just kind of seeing what happens. And I think implementing that concept into most aspects of our lives is what these people are getting at. Like, yeah, just go have fun with it. You don't have to be an expert right away. Just go do whatever happens, and that's okay. And I think with art, that is something that is inherently a part of the act of doing it.
Yeah, creating for creation's sake.
Yeah.
As opposed to getting in your head about the end result is really freeing.
How hard is that though, now that you have a style and you're a professional
the
artist?
Style. I get oh my gosh. The style is on such a pedestal.
Yeah.
I feel like,
let's talk about this.
oh my gosh, this is like a heart-wrenching thing. If you are an artist and you don't have a style, it's okay. You will. I really want anyone who's an aspiring artist or in the trenches of it to know that that's okay, because I, as an aspiring artist, did not have a style, and it just felt, everything in the world tells you have a style, or that if you get a style, you can't deviate from your style. And I
Yeah.
don't think any of that is true. I think that the only way to develop a style is to create for creation's sake and continue creating and create and create and create and create, create. And before you know it, you're like, oh, I actually see a common denominator with all of these paintings. And don't think I'll ever tire of painting that like one thing. Like I love to paint glowing light and I love to paint women, and I don't foresee that ever changing. The steps with which I do it, the sizes of the canvases and other elements that I incorporate, I think will continue to change. But I mean, as far as I know, I feel like that's just something that I will always do. But at the time, if you had told me like you'll get a style, like I would have just been so frustrated because it feels like something that you have to like figure out, but it's really just something that comes naturally through incessantly creating.
Mm-hmm. And was that
and experimenting.
Your discovery? So element of light, element of femininity, was that something that you felt just happened through play?
Yes, the glowing light happened when I discovered oils after taking this online art course, because I didn't really know how to use them prior to that. And there were these certain colors that I fell in love with the way they transitioned. It was like Prussian blue to cadmium orange or something. And the way they transitioned from like the really dark blue to the green to the orange was just like really captivating to me. And so I just started experimenting with that. And then when I incorporated the titanium white and the cadmium yellow, it just had this like really glowy effect that I was just like completely enamored with. And so I still obsessively paint it all the time. And then women, I think, even from when I was a teenager with like ideas of grandeur of being this like successful artist.
Who you now are. Just P.S. Keep going, but yeah.
I'm not going to touch on that.
You're displayed at Togetherland right now.
I have made it.
Welcome to the Make It podcast.
Yeah. Very true. But yeah, it's just something that even as a teenager, I always drew women. And I think that has always been sort of like an autobiographical thing, like kind of like journaling. I feel like the reason I paint women is just because I feel like I'm sharing my female perspective through art. And even if I try to deviate away from painting figures, especially women, I always end up coming back. Like lately, I've been obsessed with painting butterflies and moons, but I still like, even at Togetherland, like I can't help it. I just want to paint women. Women are beautiful. It just feels very emotional when I do.
I noticed you've incorporated elements of numerology in some of your pieces as well. What's that about?
So I discovered angel numbers a couple years ago, and I feel like they're just like wonderful little messages from the universe. And I feel like everyone is constantly looking for a sign or a direction. And that's sort of how I take that. Like each one means a different thing. Like 444 is protection, 777 is luck, 888 is abundance, 999 is completion, 222 is balance and harmony, 111 is alignment.
Is it only three numbers? And
no, not necessarily. Sometimes it's just like a number of significance to you. Like if I saw something that said 1988, I would take that as a sign for me because that's my birth year. Or like 2424. It can be just any kind of repeating sequence, but it's usually has to do when you see it and what you're thinking of as you see it. And the more you kind of like 1111 is a common one, like 1111, make a wish.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, affirmation and what you take away from it. And once you get to know the definitions and like the timings and the signs and the synchronicities of when you see it, then you're kind of like, oh, that makes me think of that thing. And like 999 is release. And if you say you're thinking about an ex or a friendship that you lost or something, or you're grieving someone and you see 999 as you're thinking of them, like it's a sign to just like drop your shoulders, take a breath, let them go. Or if you see, like I've been seeing 111 all over the place while I've been in Nova Scotia. And that's just a sense to me that like I am on the right track. I am pursuing the right things. I am meant to be here. So it's just kind of like a way to validate your own experiences, really. And it's just something that I've been sneaking in to my art.
And I imagine for somebody to have a piece with that daily reminder, you know, this, this painting's hanging in their home with this reminder to release, for example, that's kind of, I think, I don't want to say the untold story of art. People buy art for all sorts of different reasons and connect with it for different reasons, or the artists themselves. But that's something that I try to remind people of this isn't just, it's not limited to just something pretty that's hanging on your wall. It can be a meditation or an affirmation, or in this sake of abstract, I always like to hear people see completely different things in it that I'm not seeing, which is super fun to hear about, but it also speaks to the individual experience you have or the conversation piece it can create. Yeah. So somebody that's now entering the home of and seeing 999 could also mean, you know, remind them of something completely different in their life. Totally. There's like a storytelling element to it that carries on after you've let it go.
Agreed. Yeah.
Is there a kind of art that you've never tried before that you're curious about?
Yes. Encaustic is like painting with wax. I've never done that, but I would be fascinated to do so. I think it's like a really tricky, and I actually don't think it's like a healthy thing to do is what I hear, but I would love to dabble with that. I love trying new things. I mean, I think that's what makes art fun is trying.
Yeah. I traded a painting. This was, oh my gosh, 8 or 9 years ago. Traded a painting for a whole encaustic set, more or less. And I have never used it.
Oh my goodness.
I know. This is you're like devastated. Part of it is I have no idea. And the other part is like there's something that feels risky about it because I've heard everything from toxins to like you have to heat the wax. And I'm like, is this like, gonna, I don't know.
You need a mask.
I'm nervous about it.
I'm pretty sure you need a mask.
But after 9 years, like get over it.
You should definitely do it though. I've even painted with eggs.
Yes.
Egg yolks, like the yellow part of the oak. You can mix it with pigment.
Yeah.
And
crush. I think you can crush the egg shell too and create like textured medium. I don't know that I'm not calling it paint, but yeah, people I've seen. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I saw a beautiful painting too that was using hundreds of cleaned egg shells. And so if you think of a cracked open eggshell, the bottom part, like the curvature of it was glued on a canvas to create a scene. It was gorgeous and so delicate, right?
So my mind immediately goes to like the longevity of that piece. Like, would it just like crumble away eventually?
Probably.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe
probably could coat it with something.
Yeah.
I think that's the kind of art I could never do. Like I see like people who would make like, do you remember Art Attack? Do you watch that? Where they would make those like big, it would just be like grand art things made out of like found materials. And there are artists in the world who will like go into the forest and like make an owl thing of like bark and rocks and twigs, which is so beautiful. But I'm like, my heart is just like, but then the rain's gonna just wash it away and then it's just gone forever. Like that's really creating for creating's sake. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
You're very in the moment in that case for sure.
Right? Yeah. And then just like letting it go.
You mentioned you've been painting the feminine side since you were a teenager. When did you start painting and how did art come into your life?
See, I feel like people always ask me when I became a painter, and I always think it's such a funny question because I feel like since I could hold a paintbrush, like as kids, we all paint. And I think for me in high school, painting was the thing I was good at. It was the thing that like made me feel validated. It was the thing that people noticed and were like, "Oh, you're." It felt like I was like a cut above the rest in that one thing, like. Some people were really good at sports. Some people were really smart. But like art was the thing that like I did not have to try at. I was just kind of good at it. And I wasn't like a prodigy or like amazing but I was good enough that people noticed. And so I think that was something that I really like held on to and was like identified with. Like I am good at art. That is like a truth for me. And I went to art school later. Then my friends went off to school. I didn't really know what I wanted to do or how I wanted to do it. But I didn't start pursuing it professionally until the pandemic. And I quit my part-time job and found that I was making art, more money with my art than I was with my part-time job, which was really satisfying. But the longer the pandemic went on, the less money people seem to have. And I think art is kind of the first thing to fall off the list of people's needs.
Yeah.
And so I had to go back to work, but I'm back to doing art full-time again now.
I found it comforting to have, so like we touched on this conversation last night, in that I think when you decide to become a full-time artist, when you have to maybe find something else to supplement that, it feels like you're going backwards.
Oh, I felt like a huge failure. I cried so much. And it was like a very difficult decision that my husband and I came to, that like we just need more. Like we need an income. We need a guaranteed income. And fortunately, I found a temporary home at a lovely store in Wellington in Prince Edward County called Anise Jewelry, where I got to make jewelry. So it was like a creative outlet, and just a beautiful space. But it still wasn't making art. It still wasn't painting. And yeah, I felt like I wasn't good enough having to go back to work, which isn't true. You can be an artist and have another income. But I feel like for my soul and like who I am, like I feel like I can't do a job. I can't work for someone else. I just want to paint. And maybe that's childish or whimsical, but it's the way I feel fulfilled. And I hope that I never have to go back to a job again.
When you were working that other job that you had, were you just thinking of art the entire time?
Actually, it was so extremely busy that I didn't have time to think about anything. It was like shutting my brain off and grinding, and then getting home and being like, oh my God. And then like needing to like decompress, because it was like a very busy environment. There was always like 100 different things that needed to be done, which was great because it made the time go by fast. But yeah, there's just nothing like painting. There's nothing where I feel like I'm out of body, or that I'm just lost in the moment, or it's like 5 hours feels like 5 minutes, and you have this beautiful thing that came from nothing afterwards, which is pretty exceptional feeling.
Yeah.
Having
now had this experience of, I'll say, going back and forth between these types of lives, has that made you think about the concept of making it or success differently? Like, what's the definition of that to you now?
Yeah, I think it has. I think the first time I went full time, my focus became making money, which like, obviously that's what my goal was. And I think because of that, I did not enjoy the process of creation, and I was stressed out, and I was worried about, although I didn't change what I created, I certainly thought, is this going to be sellable? Is someone going to want to buy this? Is this going to be good enough? And if it didn't sell right away or whatever, then I was like crushed. And I mean, looking back, some paintings take multiple years to sell, and that's just the way it is. But at the time, it was very much like, this needs to sell right away. And I think before, I had this idea that like I needed to go viral on social media, and I needed to sell out my collections right away. And I had certain things that I felt that I needed to accomplish, in that like I didn't want to do paint nights or kids classes. It was like I just needed this like level of, and now I'm like, now I look at the circumstances of what is it that I want, and what I want, like regardless of reaching a certain amount of success or sales, what I want is to just paint. I want to be able to paint. And so now I look at it as, if I do paint nights 1 to 3 times a month, that's, and teaching the lessons at Bax Art, that's funding my painting and what I want. Whereas before I looked at it backwards as, I wish I didn't have to do paint nights. I wish I didn't have to do these classes. But the reason is because I want to paint. So if I have the time to paint, then I'm accomplishing it.
Mhm.
And so I feel like before I had it in my head, like I have to grind, I have to hustle, I have to do all of these things to reach this amount of success. But I don't. I just need to take it one day at a time so that I can paint. And I look at the day that's in front of me and that's all I think about. And I'm like, today, am I accomplishing what I want? And the answer is yes, I'm painting and I don't have another part-time job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that takes all of the pressure away and focuses on what I want to continue to manifest, which is just making art.
And probably making better art as a result of your mindset.
And enjoying the process and not being so in my head, because I am very much an overthinker who is constantly having this inner dialogue and turmoil of things that aren't actually true or there.
Do you have a vision of what's going to be the finished version of a painting before you start?
I usually go in with like a concept or an idea. So like the one painting of the couple that's kissing downstairs at the gallery, I knew I wanted the couple kissing and I knew I wanted there to be moons, but that was it. And then the rest sort of develops. And the same with the girl that's wearing the hat that I did. Like I knew I wanted it to be a girl with the hat, but like I didn't plan like the lines or the hexagons or any of the other elements. Like all of that stuff just kind of like flows and comes as it happens. And I think that's probably part of why I'm still so in love with painting, is that I have somewhat of a plan, but I'm not like tied to the plan. I'm not like, it's not set in stone. I don't have to. And if it takes a different direction that I wasn't expecting, then cool.
What's art school like? I didn't go to art school. Are you learning?
Oh my God, art school is the best.
Okay.
You get to,
yeah. Tell me about it.
I went to Sheridan College of Art and Design in Oakville, Ontario, and it is a terrible representation of what being an artist is like, because they give you assignments and then you do the art and then they give you an A and you're like, wow, this is so fun. That is how I would sum up my entire art school experience, was try this new thing and get a grade and a gold star and feel great about yourself.
It does sound fun.
And that's not
we should
what the
all
art
go.
world is like. Yeah, no, I literally was like, if I was a Nepo baby and had lots of money, I would just go to art school forever. Like, how great to just be like, you're doing so good. You're good at this. Make more.
Yeah. But were you trying ceramics and jewelry making and charcoal?
So I took a program called Visual and Creative Arts, I think is what it was. And it was a fairly new program. And it was just a 2-year program. And the concept behind it was to teach you basic art skills and also how to be an independent artist. So they also had a business component, which was cool. So it taught you how to write like a business plan or like apply for a grant. And then they also taught technical drawing, life drawing, painting, ceramics, and everything else has left my brain. But it definitely like helped develop my skill, and I learned a lot. But I don't think that it was as good as the online art school that I took. I feel like Sheridan gave me like the basics, and the online art school I did just like helped me find my style and just took my skills to like 10 levels higher. Like it was like people told me after I did that course, like, your art, like it's really like, before it was like, I am good at art. And now I feel like after that art course, I was like, oh no, like I'm actually like really good. I think that I think other people will think I'm good, not just like my family and friends.
What does an online art course consist of?
So I took an art course called Milan Art Institute, and it's run by a family of artists, like the mom, the dad, and all of the children are all professional artists. And it was, I think, a year's worth. My memory's a little fuzzy, but I think it was a year's worth of classes. And it was a do it at your own pace. So if you wanted to spread it out over 2 or 3 years, you totally could. But I wanted to do it week by week. And it was, what they taught was, so same as Sheridan was drawing skills and painting skills, but the painting was oils. And I learned how to use oils. I had no prior experience to that. And the knowledge I gained there was impactful and long lasting, and completely took my artwork to another level. They also taught mixed media and finding your style, which to me at that time was like, oh, thank God. Like I need, which I don't think I found my style like right after that course. It still continued to develop and grow. But I think it was because of the fundamentals that I learned in their mixed media course about experimenting and trying new things and repetition of the things you love and how it naturally develops. And then they also had another component about social media and like sharing your art online with the world. And they're constantly developing their course and changing as they grow. And I think they have like a nice little community. But I would say that it was like life-changing for my art. I would highly recommend it to any artist who's starting out or a seasoned artist. Like I don't think it would hurt for anyone to take it. Like it's just a really, really, I have nothing but great things to say.
Yeah, that's a great tip. I might pick your brain for those resources.
Yeah, I highly recommend
down.
Milan Art Institute.
Okay.
Very, very good. You can find them
Is it
on
in
social media.
Milan?
Italy, or is that the family's last name?
It's the family's last name.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know if they are still, but at one point I think they were in Athens, Georgia, maybe? Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure.
Neat.
But yeah, they're an exceptional little family of all artists.
That's
And
neat. Little family business.
Yeah.
That's unexpected. An online art course. Love that.
Yeah. Their daughter, Dimitra, made like millions of dollars with her art when she was like 16 or something. And she was represented by a gallery. And obviously the gallery took like a heavy, heavy chunk of her earnings. And I think that that's part of why they developed this course, was so that you didn't have to do that. And you could, like these days, you don't need a gallery to sell your art. It for sure is good to have, but you don't need it. And so I think that their goal was to be like, we'll teach you art and we'll teach you how to sell it on your own.
I had that realization a few years ago of letting go of the gallery. I mean, I have my own gallery, so maybe that's part of it. But just the percentage that a gallery requires to take from your artwork felt gutting.
Yes.
Like, how can I, in some cases it's half.
Well, the thing that kills me about half, and it was actually my husband that said this to me, is that they're making more off your art than you are.
That's
if it's
right.
half, because
your
you're paying
materials,
your time and materials.
Yeah.
And so like 30% I feel like is fair and justifiable. But when it's 50, I'm like, why are you getting more than me? Like I did this. So I struggle with the 50% commission. I feel like that's a little unfair.
A little much.
A little
steep.
Yeah.
Where do you envision your art going in the future?
Oh gosh. I think I still have ideas of grandeur.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want people to fall in love with my art. I want to continue to be able to make art. I want it to continue to be my only job. I do have dreams of opening my own gallery one day in my hometown. And I worry that I would fall back into that mentality that I did in the pandemic. If I did have a gallery, that suddenly it would become about representation and the grind and making money. And so I would love that. Another thing I would love to continue doing is traveling for my art. Bless you. And I just want people to see my art and connect with it. Anyone who looks at it and feels something is really special to me. That's something that I hope continues to happen. And yeah, I just want to keep painting and not working.
And with that in mind, is that your what is making it to you? Is that what making it is? Or?
Making it like making art.
No, like
making
success.
It. Oh,
what is success to you? The concept of you've made it. I've accomplished what I've wanted to.
If I can do what I'm doing right now for the rest of my life, that would be making it for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, any kind of gallery that I get in or opportunity that I have, I also have a desire to have my art on TV, like in film, like. You know how movies, like sometimes there's a character who's a painter, and someone had to paint those paintings. I would love to be that person.
Kristen had that done recently.
Did you?
It's so crazy that you use that specific example because
Tell me about
this
it.
happened in just this past May. a friend of mine is
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it was very cool. A friend of mine is a just incredibly talented, award-winning filmmaker, and she was looking. I think actually she had written her script, and knowing I had a gallery, created a character who is an artist, and Togetherland in the film is his art gallery.
Oh my gosh.
And my work is his art. And so he came in, I gave him a private art lesson so that when they were filming,
he would know what to do.
He could realistically create his own work on camera.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Kristen, you're living my dream.
Well, it really was a fun experience and just a great group of people and being like transforming the space into a movie set ultimately.
That is so cool.
Was really, really fun. And yeah, so
your life is my idea of success.
I don't know. We'll talk more, but I like that you have specific things in mind too that would be, those benchmarks to reach for. So or milestones. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting 10,000 followers on social media is also a vapid goal of mine that I would love to have. That number just feels like a benchmark. And I have like 6,000 on TikTok, so I'm getting close. Instagram's really hard to grow on. I only have like 2,000.
It's very hard.
But
I've kind of just like given up on it.
Oh,
I don't know.
Not
given
up. Now that you've been in a movie,
movie's
Facebook's
done,
where it's at. Come on,
Facebook
says the middle-aged man.
Well, none of the other ones existed when I started playing music. Like
that's true.
It was 20 years ago. So on Facebook, we have like I don't know, almost.
You've reached the 10,000.
Yeah, we're like 13,000 or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we have way more engagement on Facebook than anywhere else with my band.
People comment more on Facebook. I feel like Instagram is like everyone's just like peering through a window. No one really wants to like
it's
engage.
Very saturated.
It's so strange.
I don't know. And the I have found in Instagram in particular, it's become more about how can I curate something that this
aesthetic
app and algorithm likes more than what I like. And that was I'm kind of in the middle of I haven't posted on Instagram in I don't know 6 weeks maybe, like even in my story. I needed to kind of separate from that and like take time to get back to my own voice.
Yeah, and posting what you want.
Posting what I want, not because exactly.
Well, it's the same with art.
It's totally the same as art. Like it was kind of like looking in a mirror in that way of that experience. So. But it's I don't know. I don't want to say a requirement because it's not necessarily, but it is.
But
it's a tool in the business model that is absolutely effective. So I get the, why we're on there, why we spend time hanging out there.
Well, I actually like cross post. So I'll post similar things on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And it's so funny to me. The views are always different for all three. The comments are different for all three. Like I can have one post on Instagram that gets so many views, but like 0 comments. And then on Facebook, not that many views, but there's like 12 comments. And then TikTok is hit or miss. And there's always either like complete strangers that comment on it or it doesn't do well and it flops. But it's like, it's the exact same video. And it's just funny how differently people engage or don't engage.
The demographics are different for all of them for sure.
Totally.
I think we talked about this before, Kristen, how a lot of more business actually happens on Facebook.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's a bit of an older crowd that has money.
I get more commissions that way.
Way more sales on Facebook than anywhere else.
Instagram is for looking cool.
I gave up looking cool. That's what I should say.
But everyone's just trying to make the most curated page of this is how cool my life is and this is how awesome I am. And
Instagram is a highlight reel.
Yeah,
sure.
no,
it's not. You're not sharing your lows on the ground.
Yeah. So I think there's a younger audience there, and I don't know, maybe they can't afford a painting or tickets to a show sometimes. But most of success we have in just if we post, hey, we got new shirts for sale or sweaters, like we're gonna get orders through Facebook. We might not through Instagram.
You might not even get a comment on Instagram. Instagram is such a weird place. But TikTok is like. It's like buying a lottery ticket, I feel like, because you never know when something's going to go viral. I had someone who was a complete stranger from one video buy a painting for $1,500,
Nice.
Neat.
which is like
we're not on
crazy.
TikTok, so I don't. But I've heard this before
TikTok
from people.
is fantastic. You should post snippets of your podcast, like the short attention span things, and you just never know when something could take off and literally be life changing. It hasn't happened for me yet, but
$1,500 sale from a stranger's.
I mean, that's not bad. I'll take it.
Great. Yeah,
I'll take it. But I feel like because the majority of people who see your videos on TikTok are people on their For You page. So they're people who are cold audiences to you.
Okay.
They're so quick to engage. Like they're just very like encouraging and ready to pump you up. And there's like such a wide range of what videos and content are out there that there's literally room for everyone. So you should definitely get on TikTok.
We'll give it a shot, potentially.
Just try it out. Test the waters.
Till
watch your first video go like mega viral.
That'd be amazing. Angela said so.
I'm going to wait till October 29th because there's a thing floating through the atmosphere right now, which I think could be a UFO mothership. So
what?
Okay. Just a quick sidebar there.
No, I don't want to start. I don't want to start anything new until October 29th because that's when we'll know what it is.
You don't want to start anything new in fear that the world may end,
is this
or is there
confirmed
some
by NASA?
Right? Tell us more.
You never heard of 3-Eye Atlas?
Well, I have from you, yes, but I didn't realize you were looking at it through like I'm just pausing life for a month.
I listened to a podcast with a top physicist from Harvard, and he's like, don't make any plans until October 29th. Because if this is what I think it is, this is going to change humanity's course. So.
You think it's aliens?
Well, this guy, he's like the top
he thinks it's aliens?
He's like, it's there's so many factors.
I hope they're better than humans.
He's like, there's so many factors involved, and like statistically, it's about 50-50 right now.
I believe that there's life out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not even a question here. It's like, what kind of alien do you hope comes? It's not even will they? Like,
so we play the 2 shows at Togetherland, the last 2 events there,
and then the gallery and the world closes.
It doesn't mean it's anything bad. It could be the best thing ever.
Yeah,
it could just be a big asteroid.
I think the world could use some good shifts right now.
So we gotta wait till then until we start TikTok. That's all I'm saying.
The takeaway here is just
or your TikTok could be about how the end is coming.
There you go.
Or the beginning, depending how you
There's
look at
the
it.
artist brain coming alive.
Look it up though. Look up some YouTube videos. It is interesting.
I probably won't have to. TikTok will probably just show me after.
Yes, now that we've talked about
it'll just appear.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's like
my feed is full of Nova Scotia right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm here.
Right.
It's weird.
Is this your first time visiting Nova Scotia ever in your whole entire life?
It's ever in my whole entire life. It's so beautiful here. I love how much untouched land there is. The foliage, it's just the water. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and I'm really grateful to be here.
And did I see that you had added a lighthouse to a vision board, or like was something with that? Tell me that story.
I have done manifestation boards a couple times, and I had cut and paste a lighthouse into it for absolutely no reason other than I was like, oh, a lighthouse. and then I ended up coming here and was like, oh my God, I guess I was like manifesting that at the time. And it was really cool.
We're loaded with lighthouses here.
We really do lighthouses well.
Hundreds.
It was funny last night, though. I think you guys were talking out in the gallery after you had hung your collection and just getting ready for the live painting. And I was doing something in the kitchen. And I think you asked something like, what's your highlight of Nova Scotia? And you launched right into all of the great things you had eaten. And I'm like, yeah, that's my kind of woman out there. Like all the delicious food.
Food is my love language. I love to eat. I have always said that if I had nothing else to live for, food would be enough. Like what a joyful way to experience life is just eating things.
What are your favorite things to eat?
Maple butter now makes the list. I overheard.
It was actually molasses.
Molasses butter. Yes. Yeah.
My favorite things to eat. everything. I'm the type of person who goes to the restaurant, and if I'm with someone, I'm like, how can we maximize this opportunity and eat all of the things? If there's a platter, I'm getting it. Or if I'm with someone who's like willing to split something so that we can each have both meals, that's my goal is to eat everything. I want all the food.
This movie thing I was talking about earlier.
Oh, actually, I don't eat meat except for fish.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
my one
So
caveat.
the decadence of beef, though.
I know.
I
used to.
Bacon cheeseburger.
I don't want the world to end, and
Yeah.
I know how bad.
October 29th.
All right, I'll eat all the meat anyway. But yeah, no, I don't anymore. And I was vegetarian for a couple of years, and now I'm just pescatarian because seafood and fish was the only meat that I actually missed.
Yeah.
And the longer I went without it, the more I got turned off by it.
You get lots of good fish here.
Yes.
Get some
Yeah, that's
Digby
true.
scallops while you're here. If you're in the
I did.
scallops,
I had
yeah.
some.
Okay,
I
good.
did.
She's doing it right. You've been to Peggy's Cove.
I've been to Vegas Cove.
Yeah. The ovens, I
The
think you
ovens,
mentioned.
sea caves, painted George's Lighthouse at the Halifax Harbor.
Yeah.
I went to Creme, Dave's Lobster. Dave's Lobster was my first seafood experience here, and it did not disappoint. It was very,
Excellent.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're taking it all in, and you've still got a couple days left.
I
Do you have
do.
plans or just?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, the last day, like Saturday, is just a travel day,
Mhm.
but tomorrow I'm going to see the Taylor Swift movie by
Okay.
myself.
Ah, okay.
I'm a big Swiftie, and her new album comes out tomorrow, so I'm just gonna.
All right.
Or
What's the
tomorrow?
new movie?
It's Friday.
Like a tour movie or?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's
I
not
don't
the.
know.
I
Air-
am not.
I know she had the Eras Tour movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not that.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, good for
She's
her.
like, that's all I have to say about
it's
it.
a release.
Taylor Swift movie.
It's a release party for her new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
Ah.
And I don't know. It could just be her recording in her studio, and I would be like wide-eyed
This
and
is great.
happy.
Yeah.
Like I'm fascinated
Do you
by
know
her.
who produced this album?
I did at one point. The same that I think did
Was it,
1989. Max Martin, I think.
Okay.
Max Martin and something Shellback, I think.
Hmm.
She's worked with Aaron Dessner from The National. She's worked with who we like,
Mhm.
but she's worked obviously works
As a
with
producer.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
Because I know
produ-
they've done co-writes.
he produced an album with her,
Mhm.
and that kind of helped his career a little bit.
I
I'm
bet.
sure.
I think
Yeah.
anybody in Taylor Swift's world, it helps their career.
Yeah.
I saw this cool meme of her, in her showgirl outfit, and it said something like, Taylor Swift has just discovered that she's Taylor Swift or something.
That's so
it's like she
accurate.
finally has this permission to step into this version
And
of
own
herself.
what there's just
Yeah.
no denying now that she is incredibly talented and successful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are still people who do, but I mean, she's
and her business brain too. Like she's got sort of a complete package there. And she's had a lot of opportunity that maybe not every artist has, with a solid foundation from family to financial security to this and that. Not to discredit, obviously, the success that she's had, but yeah, everybody's path looks a little bit different. And their concept of success, of course, looks a lot different. That's
totally
part of why we like to ask these questions about making it. I think it gives a lot of comfort to people or permission to say it doesn't have to be
this
Taylor
one
Swift
thing. Yeah.
to make it, as long as I get to do the thing I love, in
That's
this instance
totally-
or whatever variation of that. It's kind of nice to hear about that from other artists. Yeah. I'm glad that you were able to make it to Nova Scotia and have
Oh my gosh, me too.
some of these new. Do you feel like you're taking home new ideas or projects, inspirations?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I did here that I hadn't done ever was I bought like a little watercolor travel set, and I've been painting like the lighthouses, and I painted like Dave's Lobster Shack, and
Yeah.
I took a bunch of pictures of the ovens that I plan on painting as well, and it kind of made me realize, like, why am I not doing that in my own hometown? Like, why am I just doing it here? Like, there's so many local businesses and beautiful places in the county that I could paint as well, and I think that's probably something that I'll do more at home, because it's like something I can easily carry with me because it's small, and I could just like easily sit down and paint.
Yeah,
So
stick it in your
that's
purse.
something I think that will definitely be changing for sure.
Do your kids paint? Or do you paint with them?
I do paint with them, especially during the pandemic. That was a fun little challenge, was how to incorporate my children into my artwork. And that's actually how one of that TikTok painting sold, was because I let them like color on the background, and the video went viral because some people were mad at me for painting over top of parts of what they painted. And I was like, this is not their painting. This is my painting. And I am letting them paint with me because I have to watch them 24/7 and I don't get any kind of break because we're in a pandemic. And people fought in the comments because some people were like, oh my God, that's so amazing that you include them. And you could see like the components that they did. And other people were like, you can't see anything. Like, what a terrible mom. And I was just like, go off, queen. Like, fight about it.
Thanks for boosting my video.
Yeah. I don't care.
Gosh, it must be hard being a parent online.
Well, and then I followed up by filming my kids being like, do you like this painting? Do you like what we did? And they were like, yeah. And I like had like a little podcast interview with them basically where I was like, what do you think about the fact that mommy painted on it? And they were like, we love it. Like, they didn't care. They wanted to paint with me. It wasn't about the end result for them because they're children and they're better than adults. And so I like incorporating them into, they always want to use my spray paint because
it's fun.
Because it's fun and because I don't ever want them to use it.
Oh, yes.
Because they're just so wasteful. Like, they'll use a whole can over top of one canvas. So, like, I'm cool with them using the spray paint. I just, most of the time, I'm like, no, we're not doing that one. But yeah, I like having them in the studio with me.
Well, I hope you have an amazing time here in Nova Scotia. You get to take in all the highlights. We'll talk more afterwards about some things maybe that we would recommend.
Okay, fun.
But so glad you've been able to make it here. And last night was awesome. We had a great time, and just getting to have you as a part of it there, creating your magic in the background was just a little icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor to be at the gallery and in your little podcast
and squeeze
room.
in a little podcast too.
Yeah.
We just kind of pounced on you when you showed up at the gallery. And for the benefit of our listeners, Angela's work is on display at Togetherland for the month of October. We're open every Wednesday for open mic. We have 2 sold out Town Heroes shows, the 24th and 25th, and are well over capacity. So you'll have lots of eyes on your work.
That's great.
And where can folks find you online or your handles? We'll put this in the show notes, but it's nice also verbally for people to be able to hear that.
I am at Angela Jane Lavender. That's ER, not AR.
Great name.
Across all social media platforms. It doesn't change for the platform.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having early morning coffee and chats with us.
Thank you.
This was lovely.
I'm so happy you had oat milk.
Yeah. Not everybody says that, but
want to put some electrolytes in there?
Yeah.
Some creatine.
we all have our ways. Well, thanks again for being here, sharing your talents, your incredible work. I can't wait for the world to hear more about your story, and best of luck with your travels home.
Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks so much, and cheers, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Make It with Mike and Kristen is recorded and produced by Michael S. Ryan at Hot Jupiter Sounds.
Intro and outro music by me as well.
Cover art by Emily Rankin at Take Note Graphic Design, and photography by Candace Moore.
If you cool cats want to help us out, the best way to spread the word is by telling a friend about us. Tell your mom, tell all your buds. Word of mouth is still the best way to reach people. It's free for you and helps us immensely. And if you're into it, you can like and subscribe and all that stuff too.
Another way to support us is through our Patreon. We have a number of super fun tiers and perks like bonus content, handwritten postcards, creative coaching, and so much more. Find us at patreon.com/Mike and Kristen.
For the makers, the dreamers, and the figuring it outers, have fun trying to make it out there, friends.